Your background is interesting. Um, and I love how you interweave technology, engineering, and the social aspect of humanity. So, psychology, right? I love how you do that. And so, I'd like to know more about the interest that you have and that you bring about with psychology and the psychology of AI, the concept of interpretability. And we talked earlier about consequential decision making. So can
Absolutely.
you talk some more about that? And then if I said something earlier, because I you might have been trying to say something, and I was so excited to have you till I may not have let you finish. So if you were trying to say something, go ahead and get that out as well.
Well, absolutely. So, thank you for bringing that up. I think we spend a lot of time talking about AI at two levels. There's the level of the technology development, and that's a level where I think a lot of people who are sort of in the trenches developing algorithms spend a lot of their time, and massive progress has been made at that level. And then we also spend a fair amount of time nowadays talking about the impact of AI on society. And we have very legitimate concerns about harms from AI, bias from AI, ways in which AI can entrench existing inequities or hurt specific populations because it draws upon data that reflects those inequities and then, if not appropriately managed, can emphasize and enhance those inequities. And so this sort of two-level conversation is going on, where on one hand, in order to be a good algorithm developer, you need to abstract away all that societal context. Because as computer scientists, one of the things we're trained to do is to look at a problem in the abstract without how it's used in practice. On the other hand, the way in which it's used in practice is the thing that really impacts real people. And so I've spent a fair amount of time in my career trying to figure out how do we connect those two levels. And one of the things that I believe quite strongly is that it has to go through this third level, this middle layer of human psychology. And that layer of human psychology is all about how do individual people with their own values, their own goals, their own concerns, their own loves and hatreds, how do they make sense of what the algorithm is doing? And then how does that ultimately bubble up to some of these bigger societal issues? Because at the end of the day, if somebody, for example, feels that an algorithm is biased against them, they will have to make that judgment or that perception based on their own experiences. And that experience might be other people tell them. That experience might be that they experience some bad outcome themselves. And in many cases, it may be that they don't actually realize that it's the AI that's causing this bad outcome. And so they have something bad that happens to them. They don't know why. Or on the other hand, they're very they're actually getting a good outcome from the AI, but because they don't trust it, they don't use it because they see other people having outcomes that are not good. And so this perception of to what extent is this system operating for me? To what extent is it putting me at risk? To what extent is it uh, you know, engaged in harming myself or my friends or people that I care about? And to what extent is it helping? Those are all the top of mind concerns. And so one of the things that we talk about when we talk about interpretability from a psychological perspective
Mhm.
is making that link. You see what the algorithm gives you as an output, but what does it mean to you? And it's that question of what does it mean that to me is core to interpretability.